Hey everyone, and welcome to Cooking Companion TV. I'm Jenna Edwards, and this is a recipe demo of roasted cod in tahini sauce. This is more of a technique and less of a recipe I found on the internet. I'm using cod, but this works for other lean fish like halibut or hake. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. We'll start with prepping the fish, cutting it into large chunks. This is really good in a pita or flatbread sandwich, so you can leave the whole fillet if you want, but I think the chunks are better for arranging a sandwich. And then we'll coat each piece in olive oil while the oven is heating to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 230 degrees Celsius. This is also a good time to check for bones or some scales that didn't wash off. And a squirt of lemon would be good here too. Now we'll roast the fish on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper for 10 to 15 minutes until the fish is just beginning to flake. In the meantime, let's prep some herbs. I'm chopping up fresh parsley, and you'd want to add things like fresh cilantro, oregano, and basil. These are bright herbs to balance the nutty tahini. And there's no set amount of herbs either, so you'll just use what you have. And for something like this, I'm not sure you can have too many herbs, since you can always add more tahini if it gets too green for your tastes. And this is what I mean by this is more of a technique than a recipe, because there aren't set measurements. So we'll mix together equal parts of butter and tahini, adding in the chopped herbs. I'm also adding some fresh dried herbs, so it's not all parsley for me. And I do think olive oil would work in lieu of butter. I think it serves to add flavor and thin out the tahini, but our flavor profile is all about the herbs and the tahini. I also want to make a note about keeping chopped herbs around. That's not realistic to keep fresh herbs because they go bad so quickly, but whenever you have leftover herbs, you can blend them up with a little bit of olive oil and then store them in the freezer. And I have a video specifically on how to store fresh herbs like this, so click the little card icon in the top right corner of the video for that. And as soon as the fish comes out of the oven, we'll generously brush on the tahini herb mixture and let it sit for a few minutes so the sauce can melt onto and into the fish. And after it's cooled for a couple minutes, we'll take a quick taste here, and it's oddly satisfying. I would not have guessed that tahini works on fish, but apparently in Turkey, it's not uncommon for fresh fish to be drizzled with raw tahini and then folded into a flatbread sandwich. So that's what I'm emulating here. I've got some pickled cabbage because this definitely needs an acid, whether it's the cabbage or lemon juice or something else pickled. And to pickle cabbage, you can shred 1 head of cabbage and mix with half a cup of olive oil, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey, and salt and pepper to taste, and let it sit for a few minutes and store it in a glass jar in the fridge. And I like a lot of pickled cabbage, so I'm lining my pita with it and then stacking in the pieces of fish. And at this point, you can drizzle on more tahini herb sauce or just raw tahini, and you've got yourself a very fresh and healthful fish sandwich. So get the ingredient list at cookingcompanion.tv.com/tahinifish and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel for more demos just like this. I'm Jenna Edwards, and thanks for watching.